Hello, my name is Holly Flink. I am part of Team 4. I think that's the team number we are. Not sure. So this is the sprint log 1.1, and we are supposed to go over what exactly we did for the sprint. So I have this up to kind of guide me. So I worked on pretty much combat UI because UI is something that we're trying to get done in this sprint, in this first sprint, before we move on to sprint 2. And this is pretty much what I worked on. So, the first thing that I kind of made was the entire health bars. This was the first thing that I did. So I made these, and basically this part of it changes every single time. It would be Jester, down here would be Bird Person or Dragon Boy, then it'd be Dragon Boy, Jester, Bird Person, and then this as you see here. And so that was just kind of our guide on what we wanted it to look like. And we went through several designs. This used to be over here and whatnot. And then they wanted me to empty them so that they can make the bars progress based on when, they take damage. So that was the basic design. And same with the enemies. So these are the enemies. This is the apprentice. A low level enemy that you fight. I have to fix this flag because it's not like the other ones. That's the boss health bar. This is the knight, a higher level enemy. Shadow demon, a little bit higher, and a soul demon, which is a little bit higher. So these are the basic attack bars and what they're supposed to look like. And then to make it work, we're using Godot instead of Unreal or Unity, or an RPG Maker. We're using Godot, and we're trying to figure out how to make that work. I had to separate them, so I had to take apart all the bars, and then I had to make them not filled, and same with the silvers. So there's that. And then I had to do the same thing with the enemy bars, which this one's the boss one. It's like extra long. It looks just big in here for some reason, and I had to empty them. And the enemies ones are in there too. Then I had to just take the icons. So I had to separate, this is the icon, and I had to do one for each person that you could possibly potentially be, because it's character choice, as you can see. So we had to do that so that they could build the UI within Godot. And same thing with the enemy icons. Apprentice, the boss, the knight, shadow demon, and soul demon. So and then I started to work on these. I think this is the full one. Yeah. So these are the attack bars. So if you play as Bird Person, these are your attacks, and this is your special. These are just a basic look for now. The programmers, Casey and Eli, wanted me to just do a basic one so that they could get the buttons working, because we have to put how much damage they do, right next to this little area, and how much health you get back from this. But we didn't know that yet. We had to calculate that first, so I just made a basic one. Also, I might have a little information button that they press that takes them to what the attack does. We're not sure if we want to do that yet, but so I had to make just a basic design box so that they could figure it out. This is if you play as Dragon Boy, and this is if you play as the Jester. So I had to make these basic UIs, and then I had to take them apart. So I haven't finished all of them. Yeah. So I had to do each. So this is when they're clicked. So when in Godot, when you click them, the color changes. Obviously, this is messed up. I have to fix that. That's messed up. Let's be like this anyways. So this is all of them. Oh, actually, never mind. So this is what they look like clicked. Then this is what they look like when they're hovered over. And then this is what they look like normally. So I had to tear them apart like I did with the UI, and I did the gestures as well. I'm not done with the gestures, but I just have entertain. This is what it looks like clicked. This is what it looked like hovered, and then this is what, oh no, wait. No, this is hover. This is hover. This is just what it normally looks like, and this is what it looks like clicked. So I have to finish doing all of these, because he has 3 more attacks that I have to do, and then I have to do bird persons. But so far, that's what I ended up doing for this sprint. I'm going to continue to work on the UI. I have to do this UI, and then I have to do a walking UI, which is basically just the amount of coins that you have, as well as a little tiny compass to know which direction is which, so you know which way you're going. And then I have to do a character selection UI, which is going to be a whole thing. And then I have to do there's something else I have to do. Can't remember. Oh, dialogue box UIs kind of thing. And then Eli has been working with me. It's kind of hard for him to do anything until I finish the UI. So we've been working simultaneously. I do the UI, I give it to him, he puts it into the scene, he tries to figure it out. And then Casey worked on movement and camera and some other stuff. Our artist isn't in the class, so it's hard to know how their progress is doing. She gave us, I'll show you the art that she showed us. Here we go. This is what she showed us. These are her sketches for our sprites. This is what the gesture is going to look like, the bird person, the dragon boy, the knight, the shadow demon, soul demon she didn't give us in The Apprentice. But so she has her sprites, and she's been working on making more sprites, and updating these sprites, as well as coloring them, and she's working on animations now. I don't have what she has them looking like yet, but so far our artist is making really great progress. We've been just using the girl from Pokemon, the Pokemon sprite from the old games, so that we can figure out everything before putting in our own sprites. So that's what I did for this first sprint, and this, yes, I made updates. When we play tested, we didn't play test our fantasy. We had scope down because we thought that our scope was a little bit too big, and so we worked on just the fantasy world. But they gave us a good idea that bosses should have phases. When they get to halfway, you know, they get stronger and they get new attacks. So I made a little bit more of, I just put a second phase for when they get halfway, he gets a second phase and he gets stronger attacks and whatever. So that's what I did on Monday. I forgot to mention that, but I did that as well. That's all I did for Sprint 1. There will be more to come for next sprint. Thank you.